Hey traders, a very warm welcome back to you. Hey, so I got a comment in one of the videos, in the prior videos. Thank you very much for your comments, appreciate them all. Positive, negative, questions, suggestions, anything, all accepted. We'll read it. I'd love to see what you guys have got to say. Question about staying focused and how you avoid boredom. Thank you very much for your comment. How do you stay focused as you're a trader, as you're bored as a trader? Now, I started trading 2001, went full-time 2003, and went through stages where I'd sit in front of the screen from kind of 6 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night when things were really going well. And then I had stages where I'd still do the same, but things weren't happening and you get bored because nothing's happening. So the danger you have is that as a day trader, what's the biggest danger? You start to overtrade. Okay, you start to overtrade, you start to see things that aren't there, you start to think, hey, you know what, I've got to press, I've got to do something, and my butt is on the seat, I need to be making money, otherwise I'm wasting my time. Obviously, that's something that changes in your mindset with time. You start to say, listen, you know, I'm not being rewarded for the hours I put in as per the normal corporate world. I'm being rewarded for the risk I take and making the right decisions. As soon as you kind of flip that on your head, then things get a little bit better. But anyway, I'm digressing. Let's go back to the point in hand, which is staying focused and overtrading. So really good question this, and you know, obviously it's from I guess this is a guy, if you're assume you're a day trader, let me know in the comments below if you are a day trader. I'm assuming that you are, because if you're a swing trader, you're doing other stuff and you're just coming in and you're assessing what you're doing, putting your orders on. A day trader, i.e. you're sitting in front of the screen. How do you stop getting bored when nothing's happening in the market? Which it does very often. So in my opinion, you've got two things, okay? You can either stay by the screen and do something, or you can leave. Now, obviously, the advantage with leaving is that you don't get bored. You go and do something else. You go to the gym. You go to the park. You go see a film. You go see friends. You go, you know, you do whatever you want to do, right? The point is you leave. Before you go, you set some alerts on your mobile, and the idea is that you're not too far away, that if things start to kick off again, you can come back. Now, I would always structure my day, we'll move to that in a second, I always structure my day that, hey, I definitely want to be there in the morning because the morning's active and there's opportunity there for a day trading perspective, trading that open. I'm not too bothered about the lunchtime. I'll give myself a little bit of a variable there and say, hey, if it's really active in the day, I'll stay. If it's not, I'll go out and get some lunch. I'll go out and do something else. I'll go and have a swim. I'll go and have a jog, whatever it may be. And I'll make sure I'm back at the screen for the US Open. Okay. And then I'll trade the US Open all the way through until, say, 6 o'clock. Right, where generally things will go quiet because it's US lunchtime. I'll then take a break, have some tea, blah, blah, do this, do that, whatever. And then I'll make sure I'm back for the last hour and a half, so 7:30 till 9. So that's how I would structure my day. I'd say, I've got to be there for this, that. And obviously it depends on how much time you've got to commit to trading, other commitments in your life as well, as to where you do that. But let's say that you haven't got that structure, or let's say that you decide to sit there all day because the markets are quite active at the moment. You don't want to miss an opportunity. And don't forget, that's the reason why you are sitting in front of the screen. You don't want to miss an opportunity. But you've got to weigh that up with being so sitting in front of the screen that when the opportunity comes, you're just so lethargic and not recharged, you're not ready to rock and roll. So it's a bit of a yin and yang here. So, okay, leaving the screen. So the ideal scenario is you leave the screen, you set up some alerts, you do something else. Obviously, you can do it where if you've got if you're trading from an office somewhere, I've had offices before, we've traded from offices, it's difficult to get out of the office but still be there. You've got to actually go, you know, walk away from it. If you're trading from home, which many of us do, from a home office, you can perhaps do something around your house, set up some speakers so you've got some alerts for levels that you want to get interested in, or an increase in volume, or something of interest that you want to come back and be looked at. So that's fine, that makes sense. But it doesn't address the problem of boredom that if you're sitting in front of the screen. How do you prevent overtrading? How do you stay focused? Do you know, I always used to think that I could stay really focused and really good and really trading and really be prepared at any time. But actually, you know, when you're sitting on the chair, or you're using a standing desk, and actually something that's not bad thing to try, alternating between a standing desk and sitting down, it kind of gets the blood flowing a little bit without having to go and leave the screens. So if you're at the screen, how do you avoid boredom? Well, most people make the mistake of, they'll go onto news sites, they'll go onto YouTube, they'll go onto Facebook, they'll go onto all those kind of time wasting sites. I know I say YouTube and actually watching this on YouTube, guys, but the point is obviously here is kind of educational. The idea is you're watching these videos to take some nuggets of useful information to improve yourself. So it's a little bit different from going to YouTube and watching road rage videos or cat videos or people exploding things up or cutting things, or that kind of useless entertainment that's just purely entertainment. Okay, so making the conscious effort not to do that, because you want to still stay in a frame of mind that you're alert. You want to be ready to strike, because that's the point of staying by the screen. If you thought there was nothing going to happen, then you'd step away, you'd set some alerts, and you'd risk the fact that you missed the initial move by the time you got back, but at least you would be refreshed. So that's the caveat to that. If you're staying by the screen, you're believing something's going to happen, so you want to still be alert, but you don't want to get bored. You don't want to be sitting there watching price, because if you sit there and you're watching price, I guarantee you'll find a trade. As a day trader, you'll find a reason. You'll be like, you know what? That thing's ticked up 3 ticks. Yeah, so I'm going to go in on that. And you'll convince yourself it's a great trade. And of course, it's a complete waste of time. Overtrading, boredom trade, get yourself into trouble. We've all been there. We've all done that as day traders, or most of us have been there. Most have done that. I know that I definitely have. So what can you do? The best thing to do is kind of do things like what I used to do. Is I used to play poker. It sounds like, what, poker, gambling? But there's a real, similarity between poker and trading. It's risk reward. It's relatively easy. I mean, if you're a decent trader, you can go and play in the really low tournaments, like up to £10 a tournament, and you'll probably come out in top 3 for most of them, because it's purely a risk reward. You haven't got any strategy. If you understand the rules of poker, you can just play a reasonably tight game, press when you've got the right hand. You don't have to worry about bluffing. All the other players are playing emotionally because it's such low stakes, and you can kind of have a bit of fun with that. It's a bit of entertainment, and it's still keeping you on your toes in terms of cognitive load ticking away. It's not a lot of money, not like you're risking loads of money out there, but you still got that risk reward thing going. Obviously, when you start to get up to the bigger size tournaments like 100, 200, 500 pound, a different league, guys. I mean, I tried to play those, and just unless I was going to really focus my energy on poker, I realised quickly that I was out of my league there. But the smaller ones, they're kind of good fun. And the point is, you don't want to be spending £500, £1,000 on a poker thing when you're making money trading. The idea is that it's a little bit of keeping your mind off trading while you're at the screen, but still keeping the risk reward thing going. So that's one idea. Maybe you think poker is a completely useless thing, and actually I haven't played poker for years, but it's something that I did do when I realized that I was going to be sitting in front of the screen and I wanted to do something like that. Another thing is you can do stuff like playing chess with people online, or doing something that keeps you not into full entertainment lazy mode, like watching cat videos on YouTube or seeing what your friends have had for dinner on Instagram, but they're not full trading mode. So it's kind of like that emotional thing of, I want to keep my focus, I want to do something. I know I don't want to leave the screen because that's a preferable thing to do, but if I stay there, at least I'm going to do something. And then of course, the other thing you can do, guys, which is the best thing to do, is just work on your strategy. So listen, I'm at my desk, I might just, dim my screens a little bit. I've got alerts set. Let me just analyze my strategy, analyze my previous trades, analyze some stuff, do some assessment, use that time to kind of journal a little bit, write some things about how you're trading, your strategy, write some ideas down of things you might want to test, write some ideas, write some thoughts, maybe use that time to kind of dump all you've got in your brain out onto a piece of paper. And just your thoughts and the way you want to improve in trading, or read a trading book, something where you're improving your trading knowledge. But like I say, I think for me the key is to not go to full laziness, full entertainment value, and not go to full load where you're always like focused on the market, but find that happy medium in between where you're kind of doing something, whether it's a game or whether it's analysis or whether it's looking at something that is reasonable cognitive load, but not too much, and hopefully that stops you from getting too bored. But the last thing is, guys, if you do feel you're getting bored, you've got to just leave the screen. If you feel like you're getting bored and that overtrading is becoming something that's damaging you, just nip it in the bud. Say, you know what, I'll leave the screen. I'll be prepared to risk missing decent opportunities, because I know that actually, even though I've missed those good opportunities, the fact that I've not overtraded will more than outweigh that. So you've just got to sometimes take a real drastic action and say, hey, I'm not going to be here for these times. I know that boredom's a thing that's really affecting me. I'm vulnerable to that. That's one of my weaknesses. I'll just address it head on, smack it, kill it, get rid of it, and do whatever I need to do so it doesn't affect me. So Anyway, that's my take on it. Why do you stay, if you're a day trader, how do you stay focused throughout the day? How do you avoid boredom? How do you make sure that you're alert and ready to rock and roll as and when a strategy presents itself and an opportunity presents itself? If you like this video, guys, give it a thumbs up, s'il vous plaît. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos from me and other traders on this channel. And as always, stick your comments in the comments section below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this, staying focused and not getting bored. Take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.